In the heart of Skyrim, nestled between the silent judgment of the Skyforge, stands Jorrvaskr, home to the Companions, a warrior order whose roots sink deeper into Tamrielic history than almost any other organization, carrying the legendary mantle of the 500 Companions of Ysgramor. Although they function today as mercenaries taking on both private and public contracts, much like the historical Fighters Guild, which they seemingly replaced entirely in the Fourth Era. Their true significance lies in their ancestral connection to the legendary turn of Atmora. Their hierarchy is clear and the most elite members are counted within the circle of Jorrvaskr, while the undisputed chief counselor and arbitrator is the Harbinger, a title adopted from Ysgramor himself, who is recognized as a singular true leader, with each succeeding Harbinger chosen by the last from the moment Ysgramor and his sons returned to Skyrim following the devastating Night of Tears. The 500 Companions were the warriors who answered the call to arms against the elves, a historical moment whose echo is still celebrated annually in Windhelm during the Feast of the Dead on the 13th of Sun's Dawn. Among those returning adventurers was Jeek of the River, captain of the ship Jorrvaskr, Ysgramor's own childhood companion who would rise to become the third Harbinger and the keeper of the now forgotten Oath of the Companions. Jeek and his core crew were the first to venture out from the main company following the reconquest of Sarthal, charting the wilderness where they discovered the Skyforge, an ancient relic of unknown origin that predated elven habitation and reputedly housed a magic almost as old as Nirn itself. A power feared even by the elves, believing that anything feared by their ancient enemies must be valuable. Jeek of the River established the Jorrvaskr Mead Hall, and subsequently founded the city of Whiterun upon the fertile lands surrounding this powerful forge. This initial landing was the only part of a massive migration. The Companions arrived aboard numerous ships, including Ysgramor's sons' vessels, the Daramzu and the Harak, alongside Kalkaz and the Krilot Lock, the Followfire, the Sun Sedon Wraith, the Yglarmet, and the Chiron. Though the fate of some like Yingol and the Harak crew was tragically cut short before reaching their destination, the circle of captains eventually determined that each surviving ship's crew would forge its own path, leading the crew of Followfire south into unexplored lands, where they eventually defeated the native elves in a region they named the Rift. Their new captain, Vikord Oneyear, commanded the construction of a great hall, the site of their final victory, naming it Fallow Stone Hall, which served as the headquarters for the Rift Companions. For centuries, for hundreds of years, the Companions established themselves, but their involvement in external conflicts eventually worried the Harbinger of Mrifil the Withdrawn, who feared civil war would destroy the Order, leading him to the degree that Companions would henceforth be strictly barred from all wars and political entanglements, cementing their reputation as impartial arbiters on matters of honor throughout Skyrim. This dedication to impartiality was tested and ultimately strengthened by the successive leaders who embraced diversity in an age-threatened racial prejudice. When the purity of Atmoran blood was a volatile topic, Sirach the Lofty, a Redguard, was elevated to Harbinger, effectively signaling that other humans could possess the Nord Heart. Despite his reign being brief, generation later, this tradition was further cemented when the elf Henantir the Outsider became Harbinger after the outlasting more traditionally suited candidates. Though this decision caused a substantial portion of the existing members to deport in protest, adding to this unconventional leadership in history. The companions can also claim at least one woman as a former Harbinger, Mecca of the piercing eyes. However, the history took a darker turn in the late Second Era when Kyrnel Longnose rallied true hearts of the companions in the wilds, successfully invading Jorrvaskr, executing usurpers, and becoming Harbinger himself. Establishing the modern circle with a mandate dedicated to venerating the old ways of honor through blood. Secretly, this concept of blood honor became inextricably linked with a pact made with the Glenmoral Coven of Witches, residing in Skyrim in the circle. Subsequent Harbingers began practicing lycanthropy, a gift from Hircine. They were deceived into believing would not be a permanent spiritual affliction. While Longnose founded the circle, Harbinger Tyrfing is credited with being the first to turn the entire organization fully to the ways of the beasts. This dark secret persisted until the Fourth Era around 201, when Harbinger Kodlak Whitemane and the members of the circle recognized the curse for what it was, a spiritual blight, and began working towards its eradication, even as they were violently targeted by zealous werewolves hunters known as the Silverhand, who succeeded in killing Kodlak. Driven by vengeance for the leader, the companions retaliated, wiping out the Silverhand at their hideout. On Kodlak's dying order, destroying the Glenmoral Coven's final representatives in Skyrim. Using severed heads of the witches, the remaining members performed a ritual that ultimately cleansed Kodlak's soul of the affliction in the afterlife, allowing him passage to Sovngarde. While the majority of the circle also succeeded in curing their own lycanthropy, through at least one member openly chose to remain a werewolf, leaving the ultimate choice for the new Harbinger unrecorded as the Age Older. Sought a new, less cursed path forward, yet still bound to the legacy forged in the blood and ice by Ysgramor's 500. That is the story of the companions. I went over as much as I could, so if there's anything I missed, please put them down in the comments down below. And have a good day, please subscribe and hit that bell.